World Championship here in ILR3 on a Thursday night, and we're in for what promises to be yet another thrilling Grand Prix. We're here in the mountains of Austria, here in Spielberg, and it promises to be a fantastic race. I've been informed, I've not really been keeping an eye on ILR3, it's not been the league I have been commentating on, but I've been informed as I deputised for Aidan Griffiths tonight that it has been absolutely fantastic. A lot of close action at the front, and again it promises to be an absolute thriller here in Austria. The cars then coming out onto the track as we speak then to start their laps of what is the shortest lap on the calendar. We're expecting around 1:07s, maybe 1:06s, we'll see. I mean, I've not done any practice for ILR2 at the weekend, so I've got absolutely no idea what to expect from these ILR3 boys. And yep, of course they'll be hoping to use this season as an opportunity to go on to better things in ILR, maybe climb up into ILR1 or climb into ILR2. I mean, it's not a simple pyramid system where you can just jump, you have to jump up to ILR2 if you win this. You can go up to ILR1 if you show enough pace to do that. So it will be very, very interesting to see what the pace is like from these guys. And Jack Gooden's already told me that there are a few to look out for. Jack, sorry for putting you on the spot as you're in the car, but who do you think we need to look out for here today?
I think you're going to have to look at the Renault driver and Bobster, Brandon. He's been formidable the last 5 races, and if he's not won, he's always been on the podium. And he missed the first race in Australia as well, but he's already got a bit of a kind of lead at the front. I think I want to say 20 or so points ahead.
Oh, don't worry, I'll get those standings up in a moment. Don't you worry about that, I'll get those standings up.
You've got also the 2 Williams drivers, who they've both had a few disasters early on in the season, a few DNFs. They are prone to maybe an error, but I'll tell you what, they're probably some of the quickest drivers on the grid, and some of the qualifying times, they do match ILR1 pace some tracks. So I mean, they've got the ability, they need the consistency. That's what we're waiting to see. Well,
it's very difficult for me to run through these standings knowing exactly which car corresponds to, sorry, which gamer tag responds to which Twitter username, but I presume Bobster is Lisanne Gaming then.
Yep.
I take it. So that, oh, we've got a spin. That's Goody crashing and knocking the front wing off his McLaren, and that is a sore crash up at turn 3. Oh dear, brand new front wing might be needed on that McLaren car. A pretty strange spin up there at turn 3, just lost the rear end and round she went into a spin. But yeah, Bobster is leading the championship, Lisanne Gaming, as it shows up here, and Bastos I think is running in second in the championships, 24 points in it. Who is Bastos on the track then, just to give me an idea?
It's the Toro Rosso driver, ex-Danny 420.
So that's ex-Danny 420, okay.
He's not got the outright 1 lap pace, but he's got great driving consistency, great race pace.
As MK Bourne now goes quick as a 1.7. Oh, and there you go, there's the 1.60s we were talking about at the start of the session. Silent Assassin pops to the top of the timesheets, a 1:06.9. So we've got a 24-point gap in the championship. So a 1 race win, and it can all change, not much in it at all. Josh sits in 3rd, I believe that's DNA. Is that DNA Joe?
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah, he's not here tonight, I don't think. No sign of him. Yeah. So he's 3rd, and we've got Owen Wyatt in 4th, Crumpet in 5th, and Papa in 6th. No chance I'm trying to pronounce that properly. Not going to happen. So it's going to be a very interesting afternoon then here in qualifying. A 1:69, that looks pretty quick to me. Does anyone else? Jack, do you think that's quite quick for ILR3? What do you expect there? Is that quick?
I'm expecting it to go a lot quicker, close to the 5s.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. We'll see. Wow. We'll see. I mean, you don't know. It's always, you can practice and practice, but it's a different kettle of fish when you come down to the qualifying in the race. You know? Well,
we'll have to see what Paga can do. I'm watching him right now as he comes round the final corner and heads for the line. I've been reliably informed. Oh, look at that, a 1:69. He goes quicker than Silent Assassin by just a few hundredths of a second to take the top spot here in qualifying. And I have been told that the Williams boys believe they've already got the Constructors' Championship wrapped up, despite being 30 points down. And there you go, the other Williams now pops into 2nd place. Well, that quiet confidence is continuing here. 6 minutes to go, and it's a Williams 1-2, but only a shade quicker than Silent Assassin. We've got 3 cars filling the front 3 spaces with a 1:06.9. The only cars in the 160s at the moment. So it's Paga gone fastest. Then it's Afri. Goodness me, Afri Fish in 2nd. I'll just go with Afri. Silent Assassin is 3rd. MK Bourne is 4th. Bobster 5th. Random 6th. Danny in 7th. He needs to do better than that though if he wants to seriously threatening the championship. 17 needs to be higher up than that if he wants to really take it to Bobster. Bobster a couple of places in front of him at the moment. ILR, who is wounded, a wounded warrior, severely injured, in 8th position at the moment. Fat Slag is 9th, making his debut. Is that correct? A debut this afternoon for Fat Slag?
It's 4 race debuts there, full-time driver now, Fat Slag.
Well, full race debut. Well, welcome aboard to Fat Slag then. He's done a 1 minute 8.0 to kick off his full race debut, his full qualifying debut. Mr. Crumpet currently 10th, rounding out the top 10 so far. Baza in 11th and Goody in 12th. Owen Wyatt, Jack Gooding, Arctic Devils and Sir Lane X completing the grid. So, very interesting, very tight at the front. Just 3 10s covering the top 6 drivers at the moment. And right now, Owen Wyatt is starting a flying lap, currently 4th quickest in the Ferrari. What can he do then as he climbs a hill up towards turn 3? Probably one of the best overtaking opportunities on this racetrack. Or turn 2, whatever, it's the second real corner on the track. I believe it's down as turn 3 though, as Owen Wyatt now heads down the short DRS straight and down towards the braking zone as he heads into the tight, twisty infield section of the track through that right-hander, and he's backed out of it, I think. Yeah, he has backed clean out of the lap. So Bobster is coming around the final corner. Is he on one at the moment? He's coming up to the line. He's currently 6th quickest, and he stays 6th quickest at the moment. I believe he's just started a flying lap. Who else is out there pushing the car? Let's see who we can find. Jack Gooding beginning a lap, currently 12th. He quietly told me behind the scenes, he told me not really to keep it under covers, but he is aiming for the top 5. Jack Gooding here in ILR3. Let's see what he can do then as he heads up for the braking point at the top of the hill and gets it absolutely spot on then, and then heads down through the DRS section of track, where if you can't get a move done, you will get a second bite of the cherry. Into here, and now into the tight twisting infield section through the right-hander, and then the short squirt into what is, in my opinion, the most difficult corner on this racetrack. It's blind, you can barely see the apex till you arrive there, but Jack Gooding chucking the car in, working the front tyres, and looking pretty solid at the moment to go up in the standings. Currently a 1.8.1. Where will he go? Danny's now down to 10th position, but he's on an outlap. He has to deliver. He's up against it at the moment. Mind you, Bobster's only 7th. Anyway, Jack Gooding comes round the final corner. And Bobster pops out a 1.65. The championship leader flexes his muscles and goes fastest. A 1.65, some 4/10ths quicker than anyone else thus far. And the bar has been raised significantly as Jack Gooding reflects on a case of what might have been. Jack, was it looking quick?
I had 2 purple sectors, Andy. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, goodness me.
What
an opportunity.
What a disaster class there. Fucking hell.
Well, is that it? Are you out of time? No more efforts? Or have you got fuel?
I've got fuel, but I'm not going to run these ultra softs again. They'll be worn out for the race, so I'll probably run out of time. Yeah,
fresh set then.
I don't think BJ Malley has got the team ready for me, so it could be a disaster for the boys.
Well, oh dear, that's a race ruined already for Jack Gooding down in 15th place. He'll be starting on the back row at the moment, alongside Baza. But who else we got out there pushing? Bobster's on one. We've got Afri on an outlap in the Williams. Pagas in the pits. He will do no better than 6th. Silent Assassin's got Baza directly in front of him, so that's not going to be easy for him. Baza gets out the way. Silent Assassin using all the slipstream he can then. So he's the man to watch at the moment. What can the Red Bull driver do as he heads into the infield section, which is the area of track that suits the Red Bull most? Quicker in the corners, the Red Bull chassis. As he throws it in, then running it out wide, but not too bad, not too bad. Gets onto the throttle. Now chucks it into this left-hander. You really need to throw the car in, show some aggression. And he now flies out of here. And has he backed out of it? I think he has. So he stays 4th quickest. Afri starts a lap. ILR pops up into 2nd. He might be injured, but it's not an issue for him. And the man with the sore thumb pops it onto the front row, and now Williams will not be best pleased. That means there will be no front row for them, because Paga is dropped down into 3rd. In fact, there wouldn't have been one anyway, because Afra is already 4th. So Bobster is quickest, ILR 2nd, getting to within 1/10 of Bobster. So he looks like the biggest threat at the moment. ILR's backed out of his latest run. Paga's in the pit, so Afri is the man to watch now. His Fat Slag pops up into 5th place with a 1.69. Reasonable effort from what a username. What a username. I mean, honestly, I'm never going to get tired saying that. Goodness me. Who's that fat slag popped into the top 5? Goodness me. So he goes 5th quickest. Not bad for a fat slag, I must say. Afri though comes round the final couple of corners, chucking it in then to the final turn now. Here comes the Williams. Can he put it on the front row? Can he deny? Bobs to the pole. Up to the line. He can. Oh, it's absolutely stunning. A 161. And Jack Gooding, you were absolutely right. Very, very close to the 1:05 there. What an effort that is in ILR3. Some 4/10s quicker than Bobster. Pulling it out of the hat there, pulling the rabbit clean out the hat. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Jack, what do you make of that? Good time?
Oh yeah, well I'm surprised he's 4/10s quicker as well. What a lap! What a lap! He won in Baku last week as well, and he's fallen up on this good form of a pole here. So it's interesting to see if he can do back-to-back victories.
Yeah, well, interesting to see.
Is Owen White on a lap, or is he in lap?
Yeah, I'm watching him right now. I'm watching him. I'm keeping my eye on Owen Wyatt. But that looks like Paul. We'll wait and see if Owen Wyatt can deliver an incredible surprise at the end of this session then. In the Ferrari, there are many Ferrari flags fluttering in the grandstands. The prancing horses. All the Tifosi waiting, anticipating a good result here, hoping for the best. What can Owen Wyatt deliver then? As he heads down towards the final 2 corners. 2 high-speed right-handers, he throws it in. Look at that, right on the apex, look pretty committed. Can he get the final corner right? Not quite as spectacular, but what was it going to be? Surely he's going to climb from 7th. He sure is, but I didn't quite see where. I think it was 4th. 3rd, Owen Wyatt up into 3rd. Solid effort from the Ferrari. But there you go. What a time, a 161 from Afri Fish. I'll go with that. Is that Afri Fish? Goes fastest with a 1:06.135, some 4/10s quicker on a lap so short. That's a very impressive effort. He hooks it up and denies the championship leader Bobster, who is left thinking about tomorrow. He's 2nd quickest. Owen Wyatt, the Northern Irishman, is 3rd. ILR with a sore thumb is 4th. Paga is 5th. Fat Slag is 6th, what a name. Silent Assassin 7th, Crumpet 8th, MK Bar 9th, and Goody rounds out the top 10.
Yeah, Andy, just to let you know that it's going to be dry for the whole race. A bit of overcast towards the end, but no rain is scheduled. Yeah, okay. Overcast towards the end, but yeah, no rain. Apparently, anyway, forecast.
Okay, thanks very much for that. Quickly, I'm going to ask you, Jack Gooding, strategy. What's the strategy around here? What can we expect? Again, I've not really done much racing around here.
I'm on the back now, and Jeff's telling me to do super softs to softs, but I imagine the drivers will probably do ultra soft softs. I don't really know what the tyre wear or what the delta time will be like. They're saying here that super softs can last 16 laps, so I imagine I can see them doing ultra soft softs, if I'm honest. But we'll see.
Well, looks like it's going to be a one-stop strategy then. Thanks for that, Jack.
Yeah, one stop definitely.
One stop guaranteed here in Austria as we get set for the start of this Grand Prix. We're going to have, of course, the formation lap, and we get to see which tyres each driver has got on. But as of course, Afri on pole, and what can he do today? And he delivered. He is on the ultra soft tyre, of course. Bobster in 2nd, also on ultra softs. Owen Wyatt 3rd on ultra softs. ILR 4th on ultra softs. Then, interestingly, I didn't quite notice this earlier, Paga and Fat Slag both doing their efforts on super softs. So that will be really interesting to see how they get on. Will they go on to softs later on? Will they go on to ultra softs later on? I can't see that. Surely it'll be soft tyres. So it will be interesting to see if that strategy proves to be quicker than those ultra softs. So what can those guys do from 5th and 6th? It's going to be interesting to see. Fat Slag, of course, making his full race debut here today, and Paga, again, both Williams drivers very, very confident this weekend. He's the pole man, you could say, on the super softs, and his teammate is the pole man outright, of course, on the ultra soft tyre. So that is interesting to see what these guys can do. So there you go, that's your top 6. Silent Assassin starts 7th, Crumpet 8th, and MK Born in 9th, with Goody in 10th position. We've got Randoms 11th, the first of the guys with fresh tyres. He's gone for super softs. Sir Lane and Danny have gone for softs. Arctic Devils and Jack Gooding going for the supers, with Baza on the softs at the back of the pack. So here we are then. The car's coming round on what is the shortest lap in the calendar. Very hard to get the tyres a short lap. but I'm sure they'll manage just fine as the cars come now to the grid as we get ready for ILR3 here in Spielberg. I've been told to expect a thriller, and I tell you what, ILR in general, ILR really does always deliver, almost all the time, and I've heard that ILR3 is where the best of the action is. So let's find out then, as Charlie Whiting stands up in the gantry and gets ready to send them on their way. 3 lights, 4, 5, and when they go out we'll be racing, and we've got all sorts of penalties coming up already, and that is not good at all. But away they go, and Lilliart has stormed into the lead in what looked like a bit of a glitch start. So Lilliart leads then from Crumpet, who's already climbed to second. We've got a Renault spinning in the background, and who was that? Dropping down, Bobstar, of course, the championship leader. Goodness me, drama already then, as Lilliart leads them. The man with the sore thumb leads from Crumpet in second. Afterhe's dropped to third, and Owen Wyatt is fourth. And look at all these penalties being handed out already. 5 second stop go penalty for corner cutting for randoms, and one other there. Fat Slag is fifth, Goody sixth, Silent Assassin seventh, Paga down to eighth. Jack Gooding making a move though, and maybe making it ninth for Paga. No, not quite, as Sir Lane sits in behind them, and Arctic Devils as well there in 10th position. But Bobster, that's the big story on lap 1. He's dropped down to 15th, and MK Barn has had enough. His race is run. Don't know what's happened to him, but he is out of this Grand Prix barely before it's begun, and there's an Arctic Devils going off. It sure is. Into the grass, into the kitty litter, and bouncing across the gravel before rejoining harmlessly. Not a good start for him. Both Renaults at the back then, 14th and 15th, and cut astray. Meanwhile, Fat Slag, Goody and Silent Assassin all into the pits to serve drive-through penalties for what I believe is either a jump start or a lag start, one of the two. But Lilliart leads the way then out front. Afri is in second. Crumpet runs in third, with Owen Wyatt right behind him in fourth as they head up the hill. All of the front four on the ultra soft tyre, and Owen Wyatt having a little look at the back of Crumpet, but not quite close enough to find a way through as they head down towards what is really the end of the DRS zone at turn 4. And look at Owen Wyatt, it looks a lot quicker than Crumpet, tucked right up behind him at the moment, and really looking quite racy behind him. But it is Lilliart though, pulling a 1.3 second lead. Crumpet in second, a further second back with Owen Wyatt all over him. Paga then making progress now, returning up into 5th place with those guys in the pits for penalties. Jack Duran, he started 15th, he's already up into 6th place. Super start from him. Sir Lane is up to 7th, Randoms is 8th, Baza 9th, and Arctic Devils in 10th. A real good scrap going on there. And Owen Wyatt, has he made the move? No, Crumpet's come into the pits, that's what's happened. And we see another one that received a penalty. Lilliart in as well. So did these guys all receive drive-through penalties? We'll find out.
What happened?
A lot of the cars on the grid jumped the start or were tricked by a lag. So yeah, Crumpet has served a drive-through, that's what he's come in for. And I think Lilliart's done the same. Yeah, they've both come in for drive-throughs. So that's terrible, that's a real shame. And now Afri is back into the lead of the race, leading Owen Wyatt by 2.7 seconds, and Paga is in third. 1.5 back on the super softs, as is Jack Gooding. What a jump Jack Gooding's had then.
Clear, I know, went for it in turn 1 and turn 2.
4th position, so Sir Lane 5th, Arctic Devils 6th. What was that, sorry Jack?
Yeah, I just had a good start, jumped Danny and the 2 Toro Rosso, should I say, before turn 1, and just kept out of trouble, luckily enough. It was quite tight and going into turn 3. Well, I just kept my nose. I'm normally too hesitant, but this time I thought I'd just stick my nose in, and it paid off this time. So.
Yep, so that's ideal for Jack Gooding. Good start for him then, a great start for him in fact. Thanks for the coverage from the cockpit from Jack Gooding there, that's lovely to hear. And not only has he picked a few cars off in the opening lap, he's gained as well from cars streaming into the pits to serve drive-through penalties. So Afri leads then, Owen in second, Paga third, Jack Gooding fourth, and Sir Lane is in fifth. Arctic Devils sixth, and Bobster on the recovery drive, up into 7th already, all over the back of his teammate Arctic Devils. And will he move out of the way for his championship contending teammate? It's hard to say that he would, because Arctic Devils likes a fight, he always has. And can Bobster now slipstream him on the way up the hill then? The 2 yellow submarines dueling at the top of the hill, but Bobster still stuck behind his teammate, and I'm sure he'll be getting on that radio pretty quickly, demanding that his team move his teammate aside. So Bobster sitting in 7th at the moment, as Afri extends his gap out to 4 seconds on Owen Wyatt. The German driver really putting a shift in here today, and as I've been told in the paddock, Williams absolutely certain they're going to lift this Constructors' Championship this season. They're not going to let it slip away, and the early signs here in Austria is that they're meaning business. Arctic Devils, though, still holding his teammate back then as they come towards the end of the lap. Two right-handers to go as they swoop down the hill. Still Arctic Devils dancing in front of his teammate, frustrating him so much. I wouldn't like to be in the driver's briefing between them, or sorry, the team briefing at the end of this Grand Prix if he doesn't move aside soon. Nothing in it then as Fat Slag and Baza do battle. I think Fat Slag's just overtaken Baza there and moved up into 9th position. Arctic Devils, he's on the slower compound as well, he's on the super soft tyre, and he's just got no interest to move aside for his teammate. He likes to fight, does Arctic Devils, and he's proving it here again. The Welshman not interested in moving aside for his fellow teammate and colleague. So Afri still extending that gap out, 4.2 now. Paga is in 3rd, Jack Gooding 4th, Sirlane in 5th, Arctic Devils 6th, Bobster right behind his teammate still, and he cannot find a way through. You got to think the best opportunity he's got has got to be down into turn 1. He's got a chance at at the top of the hill at turn 3, and then if not, use the DRS to his advantage. He's got 3 real chances. Maybe it's because both the cars are so similar, his best chance is to just set it up the first time or the second time and do him at turn 4 or 5. It's got to be his best bet. Just set it up. And what is that exactly what he's going to try and do? He's opening the DRS now down the main straight. Will he go for the move into turn 1? Is he close enough? He is pretty close, but surely it's all about setting this up. And that's exactly what he chooses to do. And there you go, Arctic Devils gets a little kick of oversteer as he comes off the curb at the exit of turn 1. It's like Hamilton-Rosberg as they climb the hill then. Will Bobster take a lunge up the inside? No, he can't. Both cars so evenly matched in a straight line, and Bobster remains frustrated behind his teammate, and the championship leader has not had the cleanest of starts here. Meanwhile, it's a completely different story for Afri out front. He's pulling away and has now opened the gap out to over 4 seconds. We've got a yellow in sector 1 and 2. What's happened there? It's the McLaren of Goody spinning at the same place he did in qualifying. I think he might have came into contact with someone. I didn't see who, but he has dropped now down to 13s, and he does have a damaged left end plate on that car. So a forgettable weekend so far for Goody 2K7. Not at all what he was hoping for. We have of course lost MK Born from this race. We lost him on the opening lap. I'm not entirely sure why, but MK Born
issues.
Connection issues. Thank you very much for that, Jack. But it appears that is that. But we have to go to Paga and Owen Wyatt, because we've got a really close fight beginning to brew here. Jack Gooding is trying to keep them honest in behind. The two of them following each other. We have to watch Bobster though. He's still behind his teammate. That looks like a little bit closer, that battle. And at the same time, the two of them are reeling in Sirlane. So is Bobster going to have to use Sirlane? You know, it's an extra dynamic to the battle, maybe to try and find a way through on the Welshman in front of him. Maybe use Sirlane, the man from Sheffield, to try and find a way past his teammate, Arctic Devils. Randoms and Goody have swapped places in 13th and 14th. Goody's come into the pits for a brand new front wing. Meanwhile, Paga is looking increasingly racing. We have to watch that. Paga is might even be pulling alongside. And Owen really beginning to struggle on those ultras. They're starting to give up. And is he coming in? Well, he's just going to go right round the outside of him as Owen does come into the pits. Paga takes to the curbing there. And of course, we know that curb does not like suspensions. But Paga gets away with it and climbs up to make it a Williams 1-2. And I tell you what, we could be in for a titanic fight here between Paga and Afri, because okay, it's 5.5 seconds. Maybe the damage has been done already, and maybe Afri does have too much of a cushion, but those tyres are starting to go, those ultra softs, and you got to fancy Paga to really start homing in on his teammate. So he's up to second. Jack Gooding is up to an incredible third from 15th place, and we've got a yellow flag again down the bottom end of the pack, and that's why we've got randoms crashing out in the infield section. That looks like a heavy hit, and that looks like a strange place to crash as well. In fact, no, I know what he's done. He's come into that blind left-hander where it's very difficult to see the apex, and he's come down the hill, ran wide, bounced across the gravel, across the grass, slewed across the infield section and into the Armco barrier, and Random's race is run. And the Sauber garage do not look pleased at all. His race is over. So Afri still leading, but Paga already closing by 0.4 of a second on this lap. Is the battle on? Jack Gooding doing a great job to keep him honest at the moment. 1.5 seconds back in third. No sign of a pit stop yet from ILR3 out front. Sir Lane runs in fourth, but very soon he's going to have Bobster on his tail. I think Arctic Devil's just come in. Yes, he has, for soft compound tyres. So that has finally freed Bobster. Owen Wyatt has rejoined the race from his earlier pit stop in 7th. He's got a lot of clean air. 10 seconds to Crumpet in front of him, so he can really start pounding in the laps as well now. So it's going to be really interesting to see what he can do in the next few laps as ILR3 stays out. How much longer will they feel the need to do that? We're going to now get a yellow in sector 3. Or is that still for randoms? I think it is. No signs of any incidents at the moment.
What size Owen on?
Owen is on the super soft. So Owen is going to be in the pits again, you would feel.
Yeah,
before the end of the Grand Prix.
Mine on 30% already.
30% in 9 laps, and they were fresh.
Yep.
So expect Owen to go back to ultras at the end then, as ILR3 continues to stretch out those ultras to 9 laps now. And he gets a little bit of a tank slapper there coming out of the final corner. But he does now lead by 5 seconds, and he is holding his teammate, pegging him in around the 5-second mark. So he's doing a good job as Paga now dips under the 5-second mark. 4.8 the gap between the front two. His teammate slowly chipping into that advantage. Jack Gooding holding Paga at 1.5 seconds, and he has been for the last 3 or 4 laps. Sir Lane in 4th, Bobster in 5th, the championship leader on a recovery drive at the moment. Crumpet running in 6th. Let's have a quick look here at the number of stops being made. Owen Wyatt has been in, of course. Lilliart down in 9th has been in the pit. Silent Assassin's been in twice in 10th. Arctic Devils once. Goody has been in once, Basil once, and MK Borkos, he's out the race. Randoms was in the pits as well before he slewed into the barriers. But at the moment, the one to watch is Crumpet against Owen. What's happened there? No, sorry, Owen was 4 seconds away from Crumpet, not 10 seconds, and he's caught him already, and already Owen Wyatt flies past him. That was Premier League against the Conference there, and Owen Wyatt climbs up into 6th position. The Northern Irishman on the 2-stop strategy, we believe, here today, is on the move. Up into 6th place now, and next up is the championship leader, Bobster. I'll be back in 2 seconds, guys. I need to go and get the front door. Apologies for that slight lull in the action. For a moment there I thought that was ITV, we were doing Formula 1 again with their TV breaks, their commentary breaks, but we are back, and yep, no changes at the moment for that brief break. ILR3 still leading the way, and really started to stretch those ultra soft tyres out now. That's some 11 laps he's done on them, plus a qualifying effort, so fair play to him as he's continuing to get a little bit of oversteer coming out of that final corner is ILR3. So I'll be wondering when he's going to start thinking about coming in, because Paga's now got the gap down to 3.8 seconds and closing further. Jack Gooding beginning to drop back from him now in 3rd position. Sir Lane still running in 4th position. Owen Wyatt in 5th and Crumpet in 6th. And Danny in 8th, Bobster 9th, and Silent Assassin in 10th position at the moment. Bobster, he's looking very racy behind Danny. Really close to the back of Danny. What will Bobster try here then as they head up the hill? Can he find a way past his closest contender in the championship then? This is vital for Bobster then. Can he dive past Danny, who's yet to make a pit stop? He lunges late on the brakes. Can he get the move done? He can. No, he can't. Danny hangs it around the outside and holds on at the moment, but surely Bobster, as they head down towards the end of the DRS zone, will surely dive up the inside on the brakes, make it stick. Here he goes then. Bobster does make the move stick on Danny, and it's ultra softs against worn softs, and Bobster moves up into 8th. Next up is Lilliart. Make that Crumpet as Lilliart dives past him, and Jack Gooding on the pit straight into the barrier and out of the Austrian Grand Prix here in ILR3. Well, could that bring out a safety car?
Oh.
And his car is sitting in the most dangerous of places in the final part of the lap, right on the start-finish line as well. It was all going to plan for Jack Gooding. His qualifying was undone late on and his race has been done early on. After running so well, Crumpet has come in, arguably gambling on what could have been maybe a virtual safety car. No sign of that yet. But Crumpet comes in. Sorry?
Not pitted yet.
Yep, Crumpet comes in then, makes his stop. Danny yet to stop as well. He's going along on his soft tyres. Sir Lane doing the same in third position. And as is Afri and Paga. Still going is Paga on those ultra soft tyres. Until now, he's coming in. The gap was down to 2.4 seconds. And now Afri makes the call for a set of soft compound tyres. Or is he? If he can stretch them out 13 laps, surely he's not going to stretch. What's that, 23 laps out of the... 23, 22 laps out of the super soft. Let's see what he does. Into the pits comes Afri, and it is super softs. Well,
I'm seeing softs.
I've seen softs, but now they've changed to supers. No, hold on. They were supers, then they were softs. What are they, Codemasters?
Yeah,
they're softs, right?
They're
okay,
softs, yeah.
They are soft. But the tyres that went on were shown as softs, and then they changed to super softs. But okay, they're now back as soft. So just to clear that up, they are soft tyres. And look at Owen Wyatt already up behind Afri. It was about 5 seconds before the pit stops, and he's already right behind him. But you need to remember, Owen Wyatt is doing a two-stop strategy here this afternoon. So if he wants to beat Afri, he needs to get past him now and start thinking about building a gap. But somehow I cannot see that happening. The Williams boys look just a little bit too quick this afternoon for the likes of Owen Wyatt. But Bobster might have something to say about it. I think he's also on a two-stop. I think his early drive-through might have brought him out of contention, which is a little bit of a shame. But Paga now, what can he do on those super soft tyres? He's extending this stint right out then because we're wanting to charge on those ultra softs at the end of the Grand Prix. You would think he'll be in with around what? If his teammate can do about 13, 14 laps on a used set, maybe he could do 15 laps. So maybe would we expect him in around what lap would that be? Lap 20 for 16 laps, lap 21 for 15 laps?
I was on the super softs with Pag and he was pulling slightly ahead. I was struggling with a bit of understeer, but I was going to pit about lap 16, 17 and go on softs.
Okay.
But I don't know what his tyre wear was like. I was struggling a bit in sector 2 and I just clipped the curb in the last corner and lost it.
Well, Jack,
there. Yeah.
Well, Jack, welcome to the commentary box. Welcome aboard.
Thank you,
after
Andy.
that crash.
I mean, I wish I wasn't here. Wish I was down on track, but here we are.
Oh dear. So can you just run us through what happened? In fact, here we go. Paga's coming in now by the looks of it. I was expecting him to do what his teammate did, extend the stint out and go into a set of ultras for a late charge, but that's not the case. He's coming in now. Well, that's very surprising. That really does tell you how well Afri done on those ultra softs in the stint, the first stint. If Paga doesn't feel confident stretching his supers out that long, well. That's slightly surprising. And onto the softs he goes, and surely his teammate will resume the lead of the Grand Prix. It's going to be quite tight, I think. No, it's not. Afri is long gone. And now, Owen Wyatt's going to be through as well. But of course, Owen is doing an extra stop, we believe, this afternoon. Unless he can work miracles on those super softs, I can't see it. But Paga rejoins in fourth, which is really a net third when Sir Lane comes in, which will probably allow Sir Lane to rejoin, I would say, around sixth position, I would think. But yeah, Jack Gooden, just run us through your accident then, what happened?
Sorry, Andy, battle for 8th right now. Crumpet and Arctic.
Arctic and Crumpet, let's have a look. Yep, here we are then, going across the line into the first corner. Jack Gooden, you were in the Grand Prix moments ago. Where were you finding the best joy to overtake?
I'll definitely up to turn 3. Turn 3 or turn 2, I mean, it depends if you can get a good run out of turn 1. DRS as well. It's hard to say. I mean, I didn't overtake anyone until after the first lap. I mean, the first lap I got a few cars and I was just doing my own thing really. A couple of cars with drive-throughs as well, which helped me. But I was just trying to manage my tyre wear, keep out the dirty air from Paga. But wasn't to be. Just ran a bit wide in the last corner, hit the curb, went flying in the air and lost my front tyre. Absolute disaster.
Well, we're glad you're okay, fitting well and able to race on. in the future. A sore one, nonetheless, but it certainly didn't look sore because she jumped straight out of the car and up into the commentary box. It's not often we see that. That's the kind of coverage we've got here in ILR. We get to the driver straight into the commentary box after the races. They don't go to the interview pen. They come straight up to join us in the commentary box. So, Arctic Devil still in 8th position with Crumpet right behind him. And as you say, it was difficult to overtake, but turn 3 looks like his best bet, you think?
I'd say 10-2 or 10-3, yeah. I mean, he needs to use the DRS where he can. I mean, 10-2 when uphill, you can try and break a bit later on the inside, but when I was side by side with Arctic in the first lap, he was quite aggressive. Like, he wasn't giving me much space, and I had to push my way through almost. So he's not going to give Crumpet an inch here. So it'll be interesting to see, Andy.
Yeah, it will be quite interesting. I mean, you have to remember. Oh, hold on, we're going to go to the front because Sir Lane and Afri make change of position. That's just Sir Lane's coming in. My apologies. Sir Lane making a stop at long last. He was about to start holding him up, I think, but he has come into the pits. But yeah, back to that battle for 8th and 9th. Yeah, so I take it you think and you agree that the best thing to do is set it up where you can then. If you can't get past, you don't have that much of an advantage on straight line speed, set it up at turn 1, set it up in turn 2, and then just do them at turn 3.
Oh, definitely. I was behind Paga and Owen, and Paga was setting up that move for about 2-3 laps on him, and Paga was just very consistent. Like, you could just see him line it up, 10-1, 10-2, and I thought, here we go, make the move, and he did it before the next DRS. So this is what Crumpet's trying to do right now. He's looking a little bit closer.
Straight line speed.
There you go. Then he's just gonna. Oh, he's gone deep. He's gone wide, and that's ruined it. It's so much momentum there, building and building and building, and that will be so frustrating for Crumpet. And now he's stuck behind the Welshman for even longer.
He's getting close in sector 2 and 3, and then he's just losing it in sector 1 and the back straight. Every time. He must be running higher front end wing.
Well, that's not at all what Crumpet wants. So what you're saying there, Crumpet, he's got more straight line speed than you, is that correct?
Yeah. Basically Fernando Alonso.
Oh dear. Imagine saying that in a Mercedes, goodness me. Something cannot be right there for Crumpet. Struggling in 8th place. Surely he needs to set it up again.
We're going to see the Toro Rosso's duel, I think, very soon. Solane's pitted onto super softs. He's going to be all over the back of Danny.
Yeah, Solane going well actually, considering his grip position.
Yeah. No, he had a really good pace behind me. He was dropping me a few times a lap, and he was on the softs and I was on the super softs. So
and warm ones as well.
Yeah, there you go. This is it. Yeah.
As Crumpet gets a 3-second time penalty to add to his frustration, what will Solane do here? Will he have a lunge? No, he will not. And the two teammates doing battle. Is that... Wow! Danny moving aside for Sir Lane. Wow. A man who's in a championship fight moving aside for his teammate. Well, that has got to be surprise of the weekend so far. Jack Gooding, your thoughts?
Doesn't surprise me with Danny. Top lad. He's a top driver as well. He's racecraft. He's switched on like that. And maybe he's just thinking today's not his race. But I mean, if he wants to win the title, he can't be doing that. You know what I mean? Well,
no,
he's had a few, I wouldn't say disappointing, but he's been finishing top 5, 6, 7th last few races while Bob's has been pulling ahead with podiums. He needs to start, booking his trend if he's to continue this title fight, otherwise he's just going to slip away. With the William boys on a charge as well after a slow season start. So Paga on the back of Owen as well.
Yeah, Paga is in the back of Owen. I don't think it's going to be happening too soon. Oh, maybe it will be happening soon as Owen gets a humongous tag slapper coming out of turn 2. And now Paga can smell blood. He's right on the tail of him here. Will he be having a lunge? Not this early. But he can set it up here through the middle part of the lap. Very difficult to follow with these F1 2017 cars. But surely he can have a run into turn 2 or 3 on the next lap after that slide. And is that a change of position? Sashin been good in it? Yes, it is. They're in 10th and 11th there. But how's Crumpet getting on?
He's Silent Assassin's on him now.
Goodness me, Crumpet, what's happened there? You've dropped off Arctic Devils.
I had a spin.
Oh no.
Oh, Silent Assassin is a look. Oh, I wouldn't say that was a silent look. That was more of a loud assassin there. I nearly kept storming into the back of it. Paga's already made the move on Owen. Owen's come in, that's why. No, Paga's still... Sorry, no, Bobster's come in. My apologies. I've seen the positions change, and it was only Bobster coming in, that's all it was. And Bobster's coming in for his pit stop. The championship leader not having a great afternoon. He's going on to the super soft compound. Well, can you just confirm that, Jack, just in case my game's playing up? But I think it is super soft.
Yeah, he's on the super softs. Solane's also going for a spin, and that's allowed Danny to come back through again.
Oh wow, and there's actually Celine, no, Danny's come into the pits.
Oh, yeah, but Danny did get ahead because Slane went for a little spin, so Danny's pitted again.
Okay.
I didn't know.
That's
Sorry.
a sore one for Sir Lane then. So that's really disappointing for Sir Lane because he's now behind Bobster, who would have been ahead of on the road then. So Bobster, what can he do? He's 20 seconds off the back of Owen Wyatt. Surely there's absolutely no way that he's going to be making any more places this afternoon. Mind you, Owen has yet to make another stop, but surely Owen would have the pace advantage. He'll be probably trying to build a pit stop advantage. Well, Owen, as Paga has now got in front of Owen, and to make it a Williams 1-2. So Afri leads by 8 seconds and looking pretty strong for the victory this afternoon. His teammate Paga in second. Very surprising, Jack, he never went for the alternate strategy and ended up playing the same game as his teammate. What do you think about that?
Sure, I mean, you have to wait and see, I guess. It's just, this is the thing with, I've noticed with ILR3. Paga, like in Baku, was looking so good, I think he was going to take the win, he bins it. Silent Assassin, Monaco, leading by 8 seconds, bins it. DNA Joe was the quickest in Baku, tries a silly lunge on Afri Frisch, 2 laps to go, and then he finishes 4th. So I mean, we can talk and talk, but I mean, you just don't know in this league, which is great as well. It's unpredictable, but Owen's catching the back of Paga now as well, and I can't see Afri Frisch losing this now. It seems completely in the zone.
Yeah, he's in control, total control out front, and doing a great job actually. Nailed it in qualifying, a 1.61, and now beginning to streak away in the Grand Prix. The Williams boys looking good here for a potential 1-2. It looks good for a 1-2 actually, with Owen having to stop again. But
I can't believe Afri took the Ultra Softs 14-15 laps.
Yeah, well that's why I thought Paga would have been encouraged to do the same thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, basically that Ultrasoft stint has won Afri this race, really.
Yep. Because we were only gaining, me and Paga were only gaining on Afri like the last 3 or 4 laps for his pit stop, and that was only by a couple of seconds, and then he's just pulled ahead again on the soft. So I mean, fair play, he's won this fair and square, dominated the qualifying, and now he's dominated the race. Quickest guy out there today.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic job from him. And just a reminder, everyone watching in the comments, feel free to vote for your driver of the day. We have got 13 laps to go, so anyone watching this Grand Prix on the stream, feel free to vote for your driver of the day. But at the moment, it's hard to see past Afri. He's doing a fantastic job, Jack. As if you get any other candidates out there that you think are surpassing their usual standards?
I'd think Arctic Devils is not. He's only got a few points this season. He's finishing 6th would be easily his best finish. He's had solid enough pace as well. He's a standout for me. Selene as well.
To watch. Yeah, Selene as well. Looking good for Selene, but they have to watch Arctic Devils because that 6th place looks a bit under threat at the moment. Jack Gooding, look at that.
Yep.
Danny right behind him. Is he going to make the move and climb up into 6th? And will that allow him after that to then go hunting after Sir Lane? Well, it's highly unlikely because Sir Lane's just overtaken him and disappeared, hasn't he? As Owen Wyatt makes that pit stop, so this is crucial. Where is Owen Wyatt going to come out? He's rejoining now, and he's behind Bobster, crucially. So in the battle of the 2 stops, Bobster is leading it, but Owen Wyatt will have the fresher tyres. He goes on to a set of super soft, which again is quite surprising, considering Afri took the ultras so long. 12 laps to go, and Owen goes for supers. Strange, very, very strange. As there's the move. There's the move. Look at that, side by side. Arctic Devils and Danny. Danny having a look up the inside. Arctic Devils is very feisty. He dives for the brakes. The 2 of them run wide, and will there be a swap of the positions again? Very likely that there will, or maybe there won't, or maybe it will go to the steward's room. Jack Gooding, you're a steward. Your early opinion?
My opinion is Arctic that was an accident waiting to happen. Arctic couldn't pick a line, and Danny didn't know what to do in the end. And he did outbrake himself and probably caused both cars to run wide, but Arctic was just a bit hesitant where to put the car, and that made Danny hesitant as a result. Oh, he's off.
Oh, he's wide, and now he's right on him with Silent Assassin. So he's having lost 1 place, he'll argue unfairly, he's now going to have to deal with Silent Assassin right behind him. This race is coming alive here in the battle for the lower end of the top 10, and Arctic Devils is coming in. Oh, what? Why is he coming in? Doesn't make any sense. He was on for some great points, and now he's coming into the pits. Presumably he doesn't like the softs, and he'll come on for a set of ultras.
Maybe he's got nothing to lose, I don't know, let's see.
Well, he had 4 points to lose. Well, arguably 6 points to lose before he was coming in, because he had still had Silent Assassin behind him, and he drops to 9th at the moment, make that 10th.
I mean, he started on the super softs, went to softs, so I mean, he would have been comfortable to the end, so... Oh, he's hit the wall. Oh, no. He's hit the pit exit wall. What a disaster. He's got wing damage.
Oh my goodness. And all of a sudden those ultra softs are going to feel just like the softs, because he's got front wing damage.
Can I take away my driver of the day contender now, just after that 2 laps? Commentator's curse there.
Yeah, scrunch it up and throw it in the bin. Yep. It's finished for Arctic Devils, the Welshman. Might be going back to Wales. And they're a little bit disappointed. Oh well, he's got all the sheep to go back to anyway.
All the sheep.
Afri leads though. Paga in 2nd, Bobster 3rd, Owen Wyatt in 4th. And Owen Wyatt trying to get back at Bobster then, in the battle of the 2 stops between these two. Meanwhile, the Williams though, they really have put their foot down this afternoon, and 30 points behind the Constructors' Championship. They don't look it today, Jack, do they? Not one bit.
Well, I'll tell you what, their confidence is showing here. I'll tell you what, they've put the money where their mouth is, and coming right well in.
It's looking pretty good for them then. Afri 8.3 ahead. He's got his teammate just pretty much staying there all race out, around 8.3 since the stop. And you just cannot see anyone getting near them in the closing laps. It'll be a case of turning the engine down and stroking it home and protecting what they've got. It's going to be maximum points for Williams. That is, of course, a massive, what is it, 48 points or something? No, how many points is it? 43 points? 43 points, I'm sure it is. You get for the 1-2, which is going to be a real help to them in the Constructors. I don't know if that'll be enough to move them ahead. Maybe, Jack, you can crunch some numbers in the background, but...
probably with, if Arthur can get the points and Bobster gets third, I reckon Renault might still be ahead by like 8-10 points, roughly. I'm just off the top of my head.
Okay, so it might be too much in this race to overhaul for Williams, but they're certainly laying down the marker here in Spielberg in the Austrian mountains.
As soon as
Afri is looking good for the victory. Yes, Jack.
As soon as ILR introduced these physical trophies that the teams can win, the constructors can win, I think Paga especially, he was fixated on that, and he's like, he wants to bring home the constructors trophy on that mantelpiece in March. So I think the William boys have got their heads down and they've grounded away and they want these trophies. So it looks like I might be posting them off to Holland at this rate.
Well,
not that I want.
I was going to have to ask you about that. Can you tell us a little bit more then about these ILR trophies, a little bit more why you brought them in and why you dipped into your pocket for the ILR? Briefly, Jack, while we can.
Yeah. Just, well, as a lull in the race, we've got a end of season rewards for the 2017. So these are based on certain events that have happened during the season. So it's not, if you're not going to win the title and maybe you're not going to win the constructors, you've got the chance to win a driver of the year, rookie of the year, disaster class of the year. Speaking of disaster classes,
there's a contender right there. Yeah. There's a contender right there. Be sure to fold that one up.
He's done what I've done. I know.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
and the right front.
Yeah,
the right front folded up over the chassis. Well, it's just to talk us through it, Jack, because you've done it.
Yeah, so basically he's probably gone in too hot and he's outbraked himself. He's hit the curve and the exit the last corner, and he's got an accelerator and he span it, oversteered and hit the barriers. I tried to keep the throttle in and try and correct it, and the car went nuts. And I think he's just done the same. So yeah, Jordan, Silent Assassin, I can relate. I feel your pain, mate. Well,
he joins the growing list of retirements, and Christian Horner and Adrian Newey do not look impressed on that pit wall. There they are, they're folding up the booklet and heading straight into the garage. They'll be having a little bit of a debrief after this. Not very pleased about that whatsoever. They've got no cars left in this Grand Prix. And Silent Assassin, he's out. He joins Jack Gooding in the wall at the final corner. Fat Slag out as well. And Randoms, of course, we've seen him crash on the infield section. MK Barn out with connection issues on the opening lap. So with 7 laps to go then, let's have a little look at the battles beginning to form our track. The best one at the moment looks like it's Goody against Arctic Devils for 9th and 10th. Arctic Devils has of course fitted Ultrasofts now, and actually could pick up a few places here in the remaining laps. Jack, he's got Goody right in front of him, and then he can actually see Crumpet and Lily Arc just up the road from his onboard camera. So
be good to watch. Be good to watch.
Can the Welshman, who's been a thorn in the side of everyone else to overtake,
Oh, you can see
turn it
that
around
now.
and start to make some moves? Let's see what Arctic Devils can do then. Crumpet was reporting that he had more straight line speed than him. Does he have more straight line speed than Goody's McLaren? You would certainly think so, given it's a McLaren. He's right onto the back of him already. So Arctic Devils not messing about then. Will he have a look then up at the breaking point of a turn 4, turn 3?
Ooh.
A little look as we go into the infield section, and the frustration begins to grow because now you can't do it. You have to wait to the first corner to set it up again and then do it either into turn 2 or turn 3. Owen Wyatt does have the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, for anyone wondering at the moment, at 18.265, and he's trying to close in Bobster, but Afri and Paga are way up the road. They're long gone in the control of the Grand Prix. Bobster third and Owen fourth. Looks at the battle of the two stops, the battle to decide who ends up on the podium this afternoon. Sirlane, as you've said, Jack, solid drive for now, contender for driver of the day alongside Afri, I would think, running well in fifth, running alone the race. Danny 6th, Lilliart 7th, Crumpet 8th, Goody 9th, and Arctic Devils looking very racy in 10th. So this is the one to watch as Arctic Devils gets really slimy. We're going across the curb there, bouncing across the curb and nearly spitting him out into the barrier. And I know a few drivers have done that in this race, not to name any of them. He's sitting right next to me, as Jack Goody. As you could say namesake, Goody attacks the Crumpet.
Hey. Not Jake Goody.
Yeah, Jake Goody then. What was that? Sorry, what?
No, so I've got to say, oh, look at this! Crumpet's made a mistake.
Yeah, he's right on him, and Arctic Devils is right there as well. Goody knows he has to do it now. Oh, huge kick of oversteer. He's going to go round, and he does have a huge slide. Crumpet, who's busy looking in his mirrors to see what happens, and he finds out that he's not got an orange McLaren there anymore. He's got a yellow banana of Arctic Devils as Goody goes flying off. Did well to hold on to that one, Jack, didn't he?
Yeah, and that's Afri Fish joining in this train as well. He's going about to lap him.
Oh, he needs to come through this unscathed. This could be interesting.
This could be fun.
And look at that, Crumpet's weaving left and right, trying to break the toe. And here, oh, Arctic Devils in the late lunge, the Welshman. Oh, what a move that is! That is absolutely stunning. Late lunge up the inside, and now Goody can smell the blood from the wounded Crumpet, because here he comes. He goes straight past Crumpet, side by side, the three of them at the top of the hill. And it looks to me like Goody gets the move on Crumpet, and Crumpet's race is crumbling. Goodness me.
He did well there though, Crumpet. There was no space for him, and he realised Afri Fish was coming as well. Yeah, it was sensible driving from him in the end, really. Two drives.
It was a beautiful move from Arctic Devils.
It was lovely.
Well, Arctic Devils tells everyone how to do it, basically. They've all been following him all race, and they say, well, why don't you grow a pair and stick one up the inside? And that's exactly what they've done there. Jack, you were going to say something.
Yeah, Goody's just got a 5-second penalty for ignoring the blue flags on Afri Fish, so Crumpet can stay within 5 seconds. Oh, Crumpet's got a 3-second penalty. So, 6 seconds. Okay, and Arctic Devils have got a 5-second penalty now for ignoring blue flags.
And he's going in to serve the stop-go penalty instead of driving round. Oh my goodness.
Oh
my goodness. That is
disaster from Arctic Devils.
That is disaster class of the year. Somebody needs to explain to him. He doesn't need to come in.
I might actually make a note for that one. That is a disaster.
They might not know it yet, but Arctic Devils, you're being becoming a contender. Look at this! What are you doing, man? What are you doing? I've got a 5-second penalty. You know what? Let's make it a 25-second penalty. Why not? Just for the sake of it. And Arctic Devils never likes scoring points, does he? And he comes in and rejoins outside the points in 11th place. Poor Arctic.
Basil will be thinking Christmas has come earlier at this point. He was 20 seconds off them, and now he's sitting in 10th. He'd be like, this will do nicely.
And he's going to get the torture here. I bet you Arctic Devils comes up and snatches the point off him. That would be torturous.
Oh, yeah, I know. I've got to say, big shout out to Bobs who span it on the first corner, back of the grid, and now he's sitting in P3 comfortably as well. Well, I say comfortably. Just show his outline pace there.
Yeah, the championship leader, no surprises there then that he is the man to beat, showing he's got some great pace in that Renault and making sure that his team cling on to that constructors lead as well, with Williams really raising the bar today. You got to say, Bobster would have been in amongst it then, Jack Gooding, if he didn't have that spin.
Yeah. I see as climb back up to third just shows that. I think what is he, 19 seconds off Afri Fish? So I mean, he would have been right up there, definitely.
Well, Bobster, it's a shame we won't find out if he would have been. We can't be there for sure. We can't say if we would have won the battle or not. But good effort.
But it all stemmed from the start was not a desync. It was actually someone jumped the lights at the front, and then caused the domino effect of other drivers to think the lights went out. So it was literally something as simple as that.
I followed that.
Well, I wasn't sure. I did think it might have been that, but I thought it was more likely to be Codemasters at the time. But there you go. Thanks for that, Jack. That confirms it.
Yeah. It confirms that there was actually just a driver error, and then there's obviously the natural. You see a car go, then you literally want to go as well. So it's just human error, and that's what caused half the grid to pit in, and that's why it was up to P4 after 3 laps. So there you go.
Wow. Of course, when you're down the back and everybody's jumping the start at the front, you don't realise it is.
Yeah, I didn't know.
It's not as clear to see it, so that does help you, of course, down the back. But yeah, I mean, you've got to say fair play to both Williams drivers then for not jumping it. They were the ones at the front end, at the sharp end of the action, that did not flinch to the jump start. So well done to those guys. So driver of the day then, we've listed a few contenders. We've said Afri, we think Bobster could arguably after his spin, and Sir Lane as well. Look at that, Danny and Sir Lane have swapped places now. I think Sir Lane's been in again. What's happened there? How did that happen? How did Danny get up to 5th? Did Sir Lane come in again? Is that what it was? I think so, yeah.
Yeah, he did, yeah. They got pitted 3 times already. Must be his fingers killing him. Must be taking his masters off and back on.
Yep, ILR, of course, for anyone just joining us, hurt his finger. A horrendous injury that really is a sore one for ILR. Absolutely devastating injury. And somehow he races on. What a brave soul. I bet you he'll be sucking his thumb after this one. In 7th position at the moment. He's going to pick up a fantastic 6 points then at the end of this Grand Prix. But Afri then, on the penultimate lap, stroking it home, and then you look at that gap, Jack, still 8.3 seconds.
Yeah, it's stayed the same for the last 10 laps.
Nothing between them. As Crumpet, oh my goodness, Crumpet, I'm feeling for you, lad. That's another 3-second time penalty. Oh dear. Oh dear, half a wing to it. Not a good day for Crumpet. But we're on the final lap now. I've just realised that was the final lap we've moved on to. And Afri has driven superbly here today. Drove superbly in qualifying as well. Williams told us quietly, they whispered it in the paddock, they were going to be the team to beat this season as the European season arrived. And we arrived here in Austria, and it looks to be the case. Bobster might have had his problems, but Williams have had none such. They are coasting home here to a superb victory. Bobster is in 3rd, a distant 3rd, but Afri and Paga have driven superbly here today. The Williamses are going to pick up a brilliant 1-2. Afri then rounds the final couple of corners. The German driver sweeps his way down the hill then into the final corner. Germany's not far away from Austria. It will feel like a home race victory. He crosses the line to win the Austrian Grand Prix. A superb drive there. And that's a fantastic result for Williams as Paga completes the podium. Arctic Devils retires at the end. And it's a superb result for Williams. Bobster then, he'll be delighted with 3rd after the horrendous start he had. Owen Wyatt picks up 4th after his early drive through. And Danny is going to lose points to Bobster in the championship battle. 5 points he will lose in the championship battle. The gap goes from 24 to 29 between the two. He's going to come home in 5th. Sir Lane though, picking up a super 6th. Remember folks, get voting or making a shout for your driver of the day in the comments. He will be 6th, one of the contenders. And ILR is going to come home, the man with the sore thumb, in 7th position then as he heads through the final sector. Goody's already come across the line in 8th, Crumpet 9th. And Baza did get that final point with Arctic Devils retiring. Well, Jack Gooding, your thoughts on that then, since from the moment you joined in with the commentary?
I'm good I'm not on the podium. I'm not going to lie to you, Andy. Felt like I could have been up there. But yeah, great drive from the Williams boys. And I think they were quite confident. Maybe you could say cocky going into this race, but I'll tell you what, they've shut me right up.
Yeah,
I can say that. And I think as the season goes on, if they can keep doing this, I can see these two being a title contender at this rate. They need to keep at it. They're a bit behind Bobster, and Bobster keeps trucking away, but it's a long season still to go, still 11 races left. We're halfway point in Silverstone next week, so all to play for still. 250 points.
It sure is. Well, the drivers are on the podium then, and they're spraying the champagne, the bubbly, well deserved, down at Williams. I can assure there'll be a party in the nearby city of Graz tonight between those Williams drivers. A fantastic result for them. A good recovery drive from Bobster. I can tell you Flexi believes that Bobster deserves the driver of the day for his recovery drive. Corey says Affrey, and Little Block says Affrey as well. Jack Gooding, I'm going to leave it with you to make the final call then. Who is your driver of the day? Driver of the day?
I think we'll have to give it to Affrey Fresh. I just think he's just been untouchable today. And I think even if Bobster didn't spin, I think Affrey still would have won this race. There we have it.
Well, there you have it, folks. Jack Gooding gets the final call. That's 3 votes to 1. No, sorry, Flexi, man. But it's Affrey who gets the driver of the day. He wins this Grand Prix. A superb drive. He beats his Williams teammate by around 9 seconds. Paga in second. Bobster comes home third after that recovery drive. Owen Wyatt, an early drive through, left him fourth. I think Danny had the same issue in fifth. Sirlane is sixth. Lily up with a sore thumb in seventh. Goody comes home in eighth. Crumpet ninth, and Bazar, the Welshman, picks up the final point in 10th. And be sure to join us next time as we head, I think we head to Silverstone. Is that correct? Silverstone for the British Grand Prix.
That's correct, yep.
As we head home. Jack, are we doing driver interviews? Did we do that in ILR3?
Do you want to do interviews?
I'll do driver interviews if that's okay.
Try it. I'll try and get some in.
I was going to close it out there, but if we can get some of the drivers in, that would be great.
Who do we want in? I'll invite a few in, see if some of them join. We've also got a Crumpet in the comms box as well. You want to speak to him?
Yeah, of course we could. Okay, there you go then.
Alright, I've invited a few drivers.
Okay, well, we'll start with Crumpet then. We'll have a word with you, Crumpet. I mean, less said the better, you're saying, so I'm not expecting much from you. Crumpet, your thoughts on that today then? A bit messy to say the least, in 2 World Championship points.
It's disappointing. Got caught up in the start. Yeah, I could have got some good points, but it is what it is.
Well, Crumpet, how many points do you think you could have got then?
6 at least.
Okay, oh well. So a good few points thrown away for Crumpet. He said the less said the better. So if that's the case, we'll leave you to mourn alone. So, Crumpet then coming home at 9th. But hey, we've got some of the drivers that were on the podium. Here we've got all 3 of them. Brilliant. Affrey, fantastic. I heard this week in the press, in the paddock, that Williams were going to deliver. They were going to win this championship. And what a way to answer any doubts. They have won here today in style. A 1-2. Affrey, talk us through it.
Yeah, great race, great start. I don't know what happened to Bobster. I think he crashed into me. I don't know. He spun?
Yeah, I went for a spin.
Oh, such a shame. Yeah, great drive. Nothing really happened. Was a little bit boring.
Oh, I have to ask you though. Well, that was great hyping it up. Thanks for hyping it up there. Brilliant. But tell us, the ultra soft tyres. What state were they in when you pitted? They must have been a bit knackered.
They was at 70%.
And were you comfortable? You looked to have comfortable pace.
Yeah, they felt great, so I was just doing one more lap.
Okay. Well, great job. Do you think you can now challenge Bobster for this championship?
It's very hard. He's very far away still, but we'll try my best.
Okay. Thanks very much. Well done. You got the driver of the day as well. The drivers voted you driver of the day, the commentary team. So well done.
Thanks,
well done,
Jeff.
Okay. Paga.
Yes.
Well done. Second place. Do you feel you could have won this one today? Could you have taken your teammate on with a different strategy? Maybe done the same thing as him?
No, not really. My race pace on this track isn't that good, and Affrey was almost pulling away like 6/10 a lap. So I was like, I'm just gonna try and get second, get that Williams 1-2 we wanted. And,
okay, and so who was between the two teammates? Who was the one that was certain they were going to win this championship? But like the constructors, who was saying that the most? Who believes that we're going to win the constructors? Is that both of you that think that, or was there one of you certain about it?
Tiger might have mentioned it. He might have hinted that he might fancy it, you know?
Okay.
I would fancy it.
As soon as I bought these trophies, he's like, ooh, I wouldn't mind the constructors.
Where they at, boy?
Okay. Well, that might not look too bad on in the living room windowsill. So,
It wouldn't.
Good job on second place, Paget. Paget, I've got to ask you though, why did you decide to come in and fit super softs and not stretch your softs out and go into ultras later on to try and challenge your teammate?
Well, I know my pace on the super softs were better than on the ultras. Sounds weird, I know, but apparently it's true.
So that was it then, as simple as that?
Yeah, that's pretty much it, and then just finish the race and do what I have to do.
Okay, well, good job then. Williams 1-2, fantastic. We'll wait and see what happens in Silverstone. Home race for the Williams team, so they'll be hoping for a good result. Unfortunately, we don't have Bobster with us, but we do have Owen Wyatt, the man who was chasing him all the way to the finish line. Owen, first things first, what happened at the start? It looked like several cars jumped the start. Who triggered it? Yep. Well, it was a good recovery drive. Do you think you could have done better without that incident at the start? Do you think you could have challenged the Williams team, or do you think they were just too strong today? Yep, I've seen that. No. Well, so why the two stop then? Did you just tires just not just wasn't going to happen? Oh well. Oh well, hard luck. At least you got the 4th place though. No champagne for you today, but as always next week at Silverstone. Home race for yourself. Oh well, okay then, we'll just put the champagne back in the freezer then. Never mind.
We got some spare champagne if you want.
Sorry?
We got some spare champagne if you want.
Oh, the Williams team have left some for Owen. Oh, that was nice of you. That was nice of you too.
Is Owen old enough? That's the thing.
How old's Owen?
Who cares? Whether he's old enough or no, who cares? Who actually cares? Right. Anyway, Arctic Devils, I want to ask you, if you're there, a bit of a horror show. You were running pretty well, Arctic. You were looking good to be a contender for driver of the day, and then, honest, shit hit the fan. What happened?
Well, I could say it's totally up to oversteer.
Oversteer.
Even though with losing the end plate and on the ultra softs, it does feels like a soft.
Okay. No, so yeah, it felt like softs when you put the ultra softs on after damaging the front wing. Oh, sorry, vice versa. So, Arctic, can I ask you this? Why did you? Because I tell you now, you're now a contender for Disaster Class of the Year.
I'm afraid so, mate.
Why did you?
Forward for that.
Why did you pit to serve a 5-second stop-go penalty with 2 laps left?
No choice, really. I didn't even think of it, or, you know, even though the Williams should have just come up, really.
Why did you not just drive to the end?
The Williams was so slow coming up to me.
No, I know, but why when you had the penalty did you not just go to the finish line?
Just didn't think of it, really.
Oh my goodness.
Yep, this is the class of the year coming up.
It's up there,
Jack,
it's up there.
Jack, write it down, note it down, note it down.
Oh, no, it's in the notebook now.
Hey, what about my overtake on Crumpet? Come on!
Oh, it was brilliant. It was brilliant. Make sure you watch that back. The commentary covered it. The commentary covered it. It was a brilliant move. It was move of the race, but it's not overtaking the season. So therefore, Disaster Class of the season is what you're getting.
Yes.
Well, actually, it's not up to me, but it's certainly a contender. Anyway, thanks
I want to make sure it is hand delivered by Jamie Wabata.
Yes.
I'll make sure.
Yes. That Jack.
Jamie, if you listen to this, it must be hand delivered.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll fly
Jack,
I
him
agree
over.
with that.
Jack,
Yep. Yeah.
you know how you were concerned about having to send trophies to the Netherlands?
Yeah, I was.
I think-
my cost
I
a few
think-
pennies.
I think having to pay for Jamie's flight to Wales might be a little bit more concerning.
I'm a bit worried now. I wasn't planning for this. Might be
Sending
going
Jamie
under.
Mabata to Wales.
Might be bankrupt before Christmas at this rate.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm sure we could half the cost and send Jamie Mabata to Wales.
Yeah, he'll be lovely visited by the shapes.
Yeah.
Jamie will be running about chasing sheep in a field.
Hell yeah.
Well, on that note of Jamie chasing sheep in fields, we'll leave it there. Thanks very much for joining us. Thanks to all the drivers for their interviews.
Cheers,
We'll
fellas.
see you
Thank
next
you.
week at the British
Thank
Grand
you.
Prix in
See you all
Silverstone.
next week.
See you guys later.
Congratulations to Afri.
Cheers, fellas.
Yeah.